And to start, the most important is self-accountability. And it has to come from you first. So when you set your standards with your team of how you want to act and how you want to treat each other, the types of values that you want to embody, if you don't embody those things first, nobody else will. And it's extremely, extremely important. As a coach, I think some of the things that we think about when it comes to those values, I mean, your language, especially when you're coaching youth hockey. If you don't want your kids using bad language, then you can't be using bad language yourself. How you treat the referees, I think that's a big one. You want your kids to be focused on playing hockey, but if you're always yelling at the refs, the kids are going to take that and then they're going to treat the refs with disrespect as well. Even little things like being late for certain things, being late for meetings, being late for practices and stuff like that. If you don't show up on time, how can you expect the other players on your team and your other coaches to feel like it's important to show up on time? So I think coming from you first, I think you have to be the example of how you want to act and how you want to treat people. The second thing I have on here is goal setting and list checking. And it's interesting. So we all want to get better as coaches. That's why you've subscribed. That's why you're at this webinar. And for me, I actually have hired a coach. I hired him about 4 weeks ago. His name is Matt Calderoni. We've actually had him on the podcast to coach me. And it's insane how much better I've become at a business owner as a coach since I've hired Matt. And a couple of the things that he's really done for me is making sure that I'm setting goals and then checking off when I've accomplished those goals as well. And that's a really good way of holding yourself accountable to certain things. And it's kind of been a life changer, to be honest. So, but like as a coach, whether you're a youth coach, whether you're a coach at a high level, there's always certain things that have to get done, whether it's meetings with players, whether it's putting together a practice plan, whether it's just little things that you have to get done throughout a day, talking to parents if you're a youth coach, or, as a college coach, meeting with admissions and making sure financial aid was all set. And, there's a million different things. So if you can set goals for what you want to accomplish throughout the day, write them down and then check them off when you accomplish it. That's a great way to hold yourself accountable for doing things. Even things like meetings with your players, having a goal of this is what I want to say. And then, hey, did I say that or not? So goal setting and list checking is huge for holding yourself accountable. And then finally, get an accountability buddy. Maybe it's a coach that you work with. Maybe it's somebody that just has same interests with you. If you can have an accountability buddy that say, hey, I accomplished these things today, it creates a little bit of a positive peer pressure to make sure that you get certain things done. So for me, I actually have put a huge focus on my health. And I have an accountability buddy when it comes to my health stuff. So a friend of mine named Nick Petraglia, we coach together at Miami of Ohio. We text each other every night, and we have 3 things. And we either win or lose throughout the day at those 3 things. How did we eat? Did we drink enough water? And did we exercise? So we'll text each other a little video every night of, hey, this is what I ate. This is how I exercised. I drank a lot of water. Boom, that's 3 wins for me today. And if not, it kind of stinks when you have to, hey, I only got 1 out of 3 today. Hey, I only got 2 out of 3 today. So it's a little way of holding ourselves accountable to the standards that we've set as well. So the self-accountability, that always comes first.